No,
106,
page 106.
106.
verse 14, chapter 30.
106.
Chapter 30, verse 14. Better off is a poor man who is well and strong in constitution than a rich man who is severely afflicted in body. Health and soundness are better than all gold, and a robust body than countless riches. There is no wealth better than health of body, and there is no gladness above joy of heart. Death is better than a miserable life, and eternal rest than chronic sickness. I thought I read this.
No.
No, you didn't.
I did read it, but I didn't
No,
read it out loud. Good things poured out upon a mouth that is closed are like offerings of food placed upon a grave. Of what use to an idol is an offering of fruit, for it can neither eat nor smell. So is he who is afflicted by the Lord. He sees with his eyes and groans, like a eunuch who embraces a maiden and groans. Do not give yourself over to sorrow, and do not afflict yourself deliberately. Gladness of heart is the life of man, and the rejoicing of a man is length of days. So I guess it's good to laugh, right? Delight your soul with and comfort your heart, and remove sorrow far from you. For sorrow has destroyed many, and there is no profit in it. Jealousy and anger shorten a life. Anxiety brings on old age too soon. A man of cheerful and good heart will give heed to the food he eats. Right conduct. Wakefulness over wealth wastes away one's flesh, so don't lose sleep over money. And anxiety about it removes sleep. Wakeful anxiety prevents slumber, and a severe illness carries off sleep. The rich man toils as his wealth accumulates, and when he rests, he fills himself with his dainties. The poor man toils as his livelihood diminishes, and when he rests, he becomes needy. He who loves gold will not be justified, and he who pursues money will be led astray by it. So it's hard for rich men to enter heaven, like kind of what you said. Many have come to ruin because of gold, and their destruction has met them face to face. It is a stumbling block to those who are devoted to it, and every fool will be captive by it. Blessed is the rich man who is found blameless, and who does not go after gold. Who is he? And we call him blessed, for he has done wonderful things among his people. So again, you can have wealth, but you're called to take care of others with. You're a steward of that wealth. You're caused to do things, to tithe and to help others and to be charitable. Who has been tested by it and has been found perfect. Let it be for him a ground for boasting. Who has had the power to transgress and did not transgress, and to do evil and did not do it. His prosperity will be established, and the assembly will relate his acts of charity. Are you seated at the table of a great man? Do not be greedy at it, and do not say, there is certainly much upon it. Remember that a greedy eye is a bad thing. What has been created more greedy than the eye? Therefore it sheds tears from every face. So it's from the eye that people covet also. They see things and they want it, and things they can't have. That's why the 9th and 10th commandment, right? Thou shalt not covet. Do not reach out your hand for everything you see, and do not crowd your neighbor at the dish. Judge your neighbor's feelings by your own, and in every matter be thoughtful. Eat like a human being what is set before you, and do not chew greedily, lest you be hated. Be the first to stop eating for the sake of good manners, and do not become insatiable, lest you give offense. If you are seated among many persons, do not reach out your hand before they do. How ample a little is for a well-disciplined man. He does not breathe heavily upon his bed. Healthy sleep depends on moderate eating. He rises early and he feels fit. The distress of sleeplessness and nausea and colic are with the glutton. If you are overstuffed with food, get up in the middle of the meal and you will have relief. Listen to me, son, and do not disregard me, and in the end you will appreciate my words. In all your work be industrious, and no sickness will overtake you. So have a good work ethic. That's important, huh? We need to make sure we teach it to children and grandchildren and everybody. Men will praise the one who is liberal with food, and their testimony to his excellence is trustworthy. The city will complain of the one who is miserly with food, and the testimony to his miserliness is accurate. Do not aim to be valiant over wine, for wine has destroyed many. Fire and water prove the temper of steel, and so wine tests in the strife of the proud. Wine is like life to men if you drink it in moderation. What is life to a man who is without wine? It has been created to make men glad. Wine drunk in season and temperately is rejoicing of heart and gladness of soul. Wine drunk to excess is bitterness of the soul, with provocation and stumbling. Drunkenness increases the anger of a fool to his injury, reducing his strength and adding wounds. Do not reprove your neighbor at the banquet of wine, and do not despise him in his merrymaking. Speak no word of reproach to him, and do not inflict him by making demands of him. If they make you master of the feast, do not exalt yourself. Be among them as one of them. Take good care of them, and then be seated. When you have fulfilled your duties, take your place, that you may be merry on their account and receive a wreath for your excellent leadership. Speak, you who are older, for it is fitting that you should, but with accurate knowledge, and do not interrupt the music. Where there is entertainment, do not pour out talk. Do not display your cleverness out of season. So shut up and let music play. A ruby seal is a setting of gold in a concert of music at a banquet of wine. A seal of emerald in a rich setting of gold is a melody of music with good wine. Speak, young man, if there is need of you, but no more than twice and only if asked. Speak concisely, say much in a few words. Be as one who knows and yet holds his tongue. Among the great, do not act as their equal, and when another is speaking, do not babble. Lightning speeds before the thunder, and approval precedes a modest man. Leave in a good time, and do not be the last. Go home quickly, and do not linger. Amuse yourself there, and do what you have in mind, but do not sin through proud speech. And for these things, bless him who made you and satisfies you with his good gifts. He who fears the Lord will accept his discipline, and those who rise early to seek him will find favor. He who seeks the law will be filled with it, but the hypocrite will stumble on it. Those who fear the Lord will form true judgments, and like a light they will kindle righteous deeds. A sinful man will shun reproof, and will find a decision according to his liking. A man of judgment will not overlook an idea, and an insolent and proud man will cannot cower in fear. Do nothing without deliberation, and when you have acted, do not regret it. So that's,
Pray before you act. Pray on a decision.
Yeah, pray on a decision. Deliberate. I mean, don't just act. I mean, it's important. We don't want to be rash either, and I think that's part of it. It says to be deliberate, and actually, if you look at verse, think carefully about your actions beforehand. And so we want to have a thoughtful life. We want to not just act. We're not just reacting. We're acting because of a thoughtful decision that we made. Do not go on a path full of hazards, and do not stumble over stony ground. So if there's if it's raining and lightning out in a lake, you shouldn't probably be swimming in it, right?
Right.
So,
Yeah, that'd be a good idea.
I mean, or if, you're on, if it's an icy path and, you could slip and fall, you don't want to walk on that either. We got to be careful. So.
Sometimes it's better to stay home.
Yeah, I mean, it's saying though, I mean, so if it's after midnight, there's places that you shouldn't really go. Actually, you should probably be in your own house in your room, but that's not a time I'd go down to Detroit, or somewhere else. I mean,
Oh my God.
but even then, I wouldn't even go. I mean, at that time, so we don't want to put ourselves in a place of hazard. That's just smart.
It's just smart. Right.
Do not be overconfident on a smooth way, and give good heed to your paths. Guard yourself in every act, for this is the keeping of the commandment. He who believes the law gives heed to the commandment, and he who trusts the Lord will not suffer loss. So if you believe, you obey, right? So that's the key. Are we gonna, if you actually believe the commandments and what God is telling you in them, then we should be obeying them. We're gonna stop there at chapter 33.
Do you have any idea how long it took him to write this book? Because every little thing he says is like, oh, that's not good for us. But, you know, so it's not something he could have sat down and wrote in a month.
No, and so what would happen is they would have different wisdom and chunks of knowledge that were passed down. And some of them are even attributed to King Solomon, and some of, and they would have them and they would recite them, and this is what they would teach their kids and grandkids, and this is wisdom. And so they would follow them, they would contemplate them, and
Is this a compilation from many people, or is this one person?
so it was written down, so I just had that, and it was written down, and it was written down by Ben Sirach, and then I think it was his grandson that actually wrote it all out. And so there would be this oral tradition, and that's pretty common, is they would repeat the whole thing. So they would start in the beginning, and they would say it all in order, and that's how they would remember it. You know, they would go through and
Stuff in there.
yeah, and it's that's why it's wisdom, and this is, we just read about, this is the way, on right living, right conduct.
Mm-hmm.
And so we want to have this kind of right conduct to guide us, because if you're not following right conduct, then do the opposite. Go get drunk and fall over. Be terrible at feasts and everything else. So go steal, go do this. If you act completely the opposite of this,
Then you're not following the commandments.
well, you'll also probably be in big trouble too, because
You'll be
no,
crispy
Somebody will
critter.
shoot you.
yeah, exactly, because they're violating a lot of different things where, human law, God's law, all laws, and you're not following right conduct, and it's not the way to live. And so these are compiled for the benefit of all the people that, the next generation. And it's been, hey, we're blessed to have this. We're really blessed to have this kind of wisdom. And think of all the things that are in here. If our society was following these things, we wouldn't be in the screwed up way we are.
Yeah.
And just even if we were following half of them, we'd be so much better off.